This is Matt for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined by Mick Too Slick Conlan.
He's back. He's back. You've got it back now. We're past now. You've lost us now. It's on the back on the take the piss out of my guy. Fair enough.
Back. Look, I know you've been on the channel quite frequently, but there's been sort of breaking news left, right, and centre, and some of that I woke up to this morning. This side of the pond. Dillian Whyte, Anthony Joshua fight's been cancelled due to an adverse finding from Dillian Whyte. I know Dillian's put a statement out, obviously protesting his innocence, which you would expect, but I sort of feel like just as boxing was doing so well, we were due something. It's just a shame. Yeah. It's just a shame. It's just a shame that it's this. Just give us your sort of initial take on it.
I haven't seen much. I haven't really been on my phone this morning. Still kind of enjoying from the show last night, but am I surprised with another failed test in boxing? No. I think the sport's riddled with doping, and I'm not really surprised.
We've seen this before. Obviously, I know Dillian's had incidents before where he proved his innocence the last time, and then I think 2012 he'd failed. Did you sort of in this situation?
Yeah, I think this is his third kind of time. I know it's a start early in his career he failed, and I think it was down to a contaminated protein supplement or whatever it was.
I think it was an over-the-counter thing that had.
He bought product and it had shit in it, whatever it was, which he didn't know apparently. And the last time I was unsure what way the last time kind of how it ended, but I knew that he had failed again. And it's the third time, if you believe in coincidences, it would be a mad for three similar coincidences where he's failing tests. You would hope that I've spoke to Dillian Whyte and I like Dillian Whyte as a person, but when it comes down to the doping stuff, I don't really hold back and I don't agree with it. And I would say guilty until you prove your innocence.
In this sort of situation as well, you've got Anthony Joshua was willing to take this fight, knowing that he's got a Deontay Wilder fight coming up. Maybe. Do you feel for him? Obviously, he's put a lot of work into this training camp. Him and Derek James have been working together. He's got, like I said, this was supposed to be another fight because he's got a new trainer. The effect that this will have on him, it's a big knock-on effect now.
Massively, I feel sorry for anybody whose fate gets pulled, especially on a fight week, down to someone doping. I'm completely against doping in sport, and as I said, once you feel it is, you're guilty for me until you can prove your innocence. So yeah, I think it's terrible for Joshua. He's gonna obviously get paid quite well, and that's not happening now. But I'm sure it's not really gonna be missed in terms of his bank account. But it's hard. You put the work in the training camp. You want to kind of show it with your new coach and Derek James and show what you've been working on, show your improvements. And I think he was looking forward to doing that, especially before a Wilder fight, test the waters with Derek James and see how it would have went. And unfortunately that opportunity has been taken away from now.
Yeah, in terms of money, I think it's safe to say, unless there's been things going on in the background we don't know, he's going to be more or less set for life anyway. I think, like you mentioned there, it's that time almost lost. I can see talks online about chuck Chisora in with him or just chuck somebody in with him. It's sort of, when you've been training so long for one fighter, would it be a bit too late now with 8 days to go to chuck someone in with him? Like they're on about the likes of just say throw Hrgovic in. Is it
Hrgovic? I wouldn't mind seeing Hrgovic getting in with him. Would be a little bit different. Hrgovic got very lucky against Zhilei Zhang, and I think it would be a good test. Especially, I think it's one you would expect Joshua to come through and win. But new coach and all, you can't really blame him for saying no to that. But someone of his level, I suppose, at the same time, he's the top upper echelons of the heavyweight division. You'd think that it wouldn't really matter who's in front of him. He can go in there and get the job done.
Yeah, there's likes of Michael Hunter as well, I think, who's long been considered as an opponent for the likes of Joseph Parker, Hughie Fury, that kind of
Yeah,
opponent. That you'd see that as a viable option as a replacement, especially on 8 days or whatever it is.
definitely. Anyone. I think if he wants to still fight, I wouldn't want to put Chisora in with him. I don't think that's fair. You know, I would like to see Chisora say, "No, I'm gone." No, he's been in some massive fights, not down to like, no, I don't want to see him fucking get opportunities. I'm just going, for the sake of health and stuff like that there, because he's been in some hard fights recently and took an awful lot of damage. So, um, yeah, I think, a few of them guys, Hargovich, Michael Hunter, um, Joe Joyce, Joe Joyce in training for Zhang and, throw him into the mix too. Yeah, I'm sure they'd be happy to kind of go
Yeah.
for it. So yeah, I think there's plenty of options for replacement, but I wouldn't, I would not say anything if he just says nah, not now, because he's got a new coach. They've obviously been working on one guy, and those type of guys are all different than Dillian Whyte. So
What do you what do you make of the whole situation in terms of these failed tests? I mean, I know this is completely sort of, I suppose it is different, but in the influencer scene, I was speaking to one of the guys who's a regular sort of on comms and analyst there. There's a guy who's failed in that for having 10 times the amount of testosterone in his body, but he's openly come out and admitted taking the substances. Um,
he's
that's, I mean, and he won his last fight by knockout. So you're talking, it's still hand to hand combat, whether it's influencer or not, kind of thing, and it can have lasting damage. What do we do? Someone has obviously, you've never failed a test, clean athlete. When you're seeing this sort of thing come out, and obviously I've got to say we have to see Dillian and give Dillian a chance to prove his innocence, which I'm sure he's going to try and do. But what do we do? I feel like we're sort of always going around in circles with this now, and it's getting.
I've always said it as a ban for life, lifetime ban. You do not deserve to be in combat sports and face another man if you're doing it illegally, because if you go ahead, if you want to take fucking steroids and then run the 100 meters as fast as possible, happy days. Go on, you're not hurting nobody. You want to bloody win the Tour de France? Go ahead, you're not hurting nobody. You're breaking records and you're doing things which aren't possible in the human body. I would like to see that at times. You know what I mean? There's things there you could go ahead. Sports there, I wouldn't mind seeing people like doing it to see how far the human body can actually go. But when it comes to competitive sports, or sorry, not competitive, combat sports, where someone's life is in your hands, really, your opponent can take your life. I think lifetime bans and the complete another shame put on the person who's failed or been purposely failing. Like if there's accidentals, I still believe in, if it's accidental, I still think a lifetime ban people need to be made an example of, because you should know everything which is going in your body, every supplement that's going in your body, all that stuff, all should be tested, all checked, batch tested, everything. All these things can be done. It's not as hard as what it's made out. I've done it since I was an amateur, so I've been really well schooled in it, and I understand it. And the last thing you want to be doing is not checking what you're taking or doing anything like that.
I mean, we've seen the dangers of boxing over the years. People passing away. More recently, I mean, we can look back at your card. The fight leading up to yours, where
Yeah.
the opponent for Nick Ball, he's only just recently come out of hospital, and we're talking. Your fight was how long ago now?
Yeah, that was he's only left Belfast. I went and seen him before he left. Ladimar Lamari one a former spawn partner of mine, and like he had a brain drain, and I was speaking to the doctors here, and they're saying he's a miracle because anybody who has been through what he's been through is usually either dead or seriously affected the rest of their life. He's going to make a 90% recovery or 95% recovery. They're saying he's a miracle, man. They're saying he's a case study. They're going to have to study him and find out how and why, because when he got to the hospital, there was still damage and still things going on, and it was really, really scary. And the only reason they got around it all was the quickness of it all and how they handled it. And that's why you need a good medical team and all around for a situation like that. But it just shows you the dangers of boxing. And, you know, anything can happen in that game. When you go into that ring, you're no matter what you say, you don't come out the same person, because if you get hit in the head, you lose brain cells. So you have lesser brain cells than what you went in with. So you are different. And it's just, if you're really gonna try to take an advantage in that situation and try to seriously hurt someone or get the advantage, where in a sport you can't seriously hurt someone by taking something that's going to make you punch harder, make you go longer, make you fitter, whatever it is. Even help you make weight. Now you're going, Jesus Christ, like all these things, they all add up and all kind of give you a benefit where you can just add more damage to your opponent while you're in the ring, and that can take a life. And I think until I don't think, to be honest, I don't know when it changes or how it changes, but I don't think it will change when someone dies and the person's been caught. I think it's the only way there can be lifetime bans and stuff.
It's madness when we're saying that we know that this would all change, I think, if the inevitable happens. And I feel like in boxing, we're not helping ourselves. And when this does happen, there'll be a big uproar. And it's like, it's been happening for years. Like we've just not seen it happen. And then off the back of someone getting knocked out, that happening. Like, why don't we just all try and put a stop to this now?
Exactly. And what you says about the influencer who's just been caught and he's fought before and he's knocked someone out, there's not enough news about that, because you've just told me about that's news to me. I haven't heard about that until now. That should be worldwide news, and that guy should be banned from ever trying to do that again. He should be shamed. He shouldn't even be bloody able to do his influencer stuff, whatever he does not, because it's attempted murder, really. That's what I say. What it is attempted murder. Manslaughter, whatever you want to say. Attempted manslaughter. I don't know. He's killed him, not purposely, but he's killed him. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that. When you look back now and you think that lad, that influencer lad, knocked the other guy out, it could have been catastrophic if he'd have, taken a hit in the wrong place. And I don't know. Just to sort of finish off then on, I suppose, a lighter note. I know you spoke to Lewis last night. Great show by all accounts. I sort of caught bits coming through the Twitter feed. Obviously, being over here in the States, we're a little difficult to catch up on.
Yeah.
Now you give me a bit of...
The big came over there, don't worry about
it. I was keeping tabs on the live updates. Yeah. Lewis spoke to you obviously about the split with Adam. I just want to touch on the Top Rank situation at the minute. What is the situation? Are you still with Top Rank? Do you still have decisions to make with them? Where are we at with the Top Rank deal?
Well, I am kind of out of contract, but there's a grace period in terms of negotiating for my next fight, and I know that Top Rank, they kind of want me to stay and stuff, but I'm just open to all options, and I'm not making no decisions yet. I'm going to listen and go around everyone and see what's going to be the best option for me, whether it's Top Rank. If it is, fantastic. If it's not, fantastic. We can move on and see where else we're going. But I'm still I'm just in a period where I can look and see what's the best options. I know, Top Rank, they still want to be partners with us, and that may still be the option for me, but I'm in the place now where I'm gonna decide and look at the best options.
Is this sort of news? I think it's fair to say you had a good relationship with everyone down at the Boxing Bull gym. I know you could see how well everyone gets on down there, and your work with Adam over the years. This is an amicable split.
Yeah.
As all this sort of news, you're getting that off your chest. You obviously great top rank. Have you sort of got a new lease of life in boxing? Obviously, with everything you've been through, is this like a bit of a page turner for this sort of run to another world title?
I think so. Something fresh. That's what I feel I need. It was a fresh start, and whether it is the top rank or whether somewhere else. So I know it'll be the right decision. Because I'll take my time before I make it. And I think something different to change up is what is needed at this stage of my career. You know what I mean? I'm 31 now. I'm not getting much younger. I still know I have the ability and talent to get to where I need to get to. I think now we just need to make the right decisions and the next steps, and that's what the plans are.
All right. Well, appreciate you jumping on at short notice. I know you had a busy night last night. And yeah, we will catch up again when you've got some more news on either trainer situation or fight news. You're back out in December. Is that the plan?
It's not definite, but it's kind of a rough estimate. It could be December, or it could be March. Who knows? Depending on the situation with trainer and stuff, and where I'll be training or what's going on. I have nothing. There's nothing like lined up properly. And if I am to go again in December with a new coach, am I going to go into like a serious fight right away? I don't think so. I don't think it would be. I think I'd be forgiven if it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? I think I'd be given if it was just one to kind of get into swing of things with a new coach. So does that mean I can headline in Belfast and sell out an arena in Belfast? I don't think so. Not with a lesser opponent. It probably be. I could still do good numbers, but at the same time, I don't think it would be fair. I'd probably look at an undercard or someone. Who knows? Go away to England, go to America, whatever it is, and just have an under the radar type fight. And I don't know though. I could be talking a lot of shit here, and I could be doing a main event in December. But it's yet to be seen. It's yet to be seen.
You mentioned March there. If it is March, would that be a more serious fight? And could that depend on what happens in a fight coming up in October?
Possibly, yeah, possibly. As a fight in October, whether winner or loser would like to have a big stadium type fight next. That could happen in March, or it could happen in the summer in Nottingham Forest, or Ellen Road, whatever it is. Some of the big stadium ones. I wouldn't mind either Josh or Lee, and I wish both of them the best in the training camps and hope the preparation goes well. And but I see Matchroom are already trying to line up the winner to face Cordina, because the winner has to face Kombatov.
Yeah.
So they kind of avoid that situation is you go, okay, well, the winner's going to vacate and move up and fight Cordina and give Cordina them kind of big fights which he needs, because he needs a dance partner to kind of make big fights. And the winner, a world champion, a featherweight fight in the world champion super featherweight sales. And I could do in Cardiff maybe, I think, I don't know. Or in Nottingham or Leeds. So I think that's kind of the next move for the winner there. It seems like it's going to be if Eddie's already mentioning Cordina. But if you're Cordina, you're probably looking at I'd be looking at or the champions looking to unify. First and foremost before moving on.
Yeah, I think Cordina is set on unifications, but money talks, and them two are both big names, and they bring a lot to the table in terms of crowds anyway, especially from the Josh side of it as well. Like
yeah, I think a fight against Lee Wood or a fight against Josh Warren probably get some more money than a fight against O'Shea Foster, or who else, or Anthony Kakachi. Like Anthony Kakachi fight is a big fight for Anto, but in terms of money wise, I seen Cordina mentioned because Kakachi had been saying about it, but he said he wants to earn money, and kind of change his life, kind of that life changing type money. And I think the fights against either of them, who are both big names in the UK, will make more money and make more sense than a Kakachi fight, which is a very hard fight for Cordina, or I know Shaq Foster. Who else is there at a champion in that division?
Yeah, I agree.
Any bigger names who he could fight and sell out big arenas with? I'm unsure yet.
I think you're right. Then the two who are fighting, obviously Lee and Josh, I think they'll command bigger purses and be a bigger fight for Joe anyway. Well, look, we'll catch up when you've got some further news. Good luck with your search for a new trainer. I'm sure we'll find out soon what the crack is, and yeah, we catch up soon.
It may not be soon, but maybe over a bit of time we'll find out.
About a month.
About that.
Sweet.
Probably.
All right. No worries. Right. Catch up soon.
Right,
See you in a bit.
Take it.